The Supreme Court on June 20th upheld a 2017 tax on unrealized income from overseas investments by a vote of 7-2.
This is Dr. David Schein, and welcome to Business Law 101.
The circumstances here that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act approved by Congress in 2017 included a mandatory repatriation tax. In fact, the reports were at the time that hundreds of billions of dollars were repatriated, and it was considered a great success. This meant that U.S. corporations holding earned income overseas would need to recognize that income in the United States on their taxes. However, it can be applied in a different way, and we found out about that in the recent ruling involving Charles and Kathleen Moore, a married couple from Washington State who had argued in a lawsuit that this tax violates the Constitution, that's the 16th Amendment, requirement that direct federal taxes must be apportioned among the states, and the Constitution's prohibition against retroactive taxation. About a decade ago, the Moores made a modest investment in an India-based Heisenberg, which supplies power tools to small-scale individual Indian farmers. There's an aim there to help them make their operations more productive. The Moores had owned Heisenberg shares for more than a decade, but never received any income from the shares because the company, like many small and startup businesses, plowed the profits back into the company. After the MRT was enacted, the Moores received a bill from the IRS for $14,729 for additional income tax, despite having never received any payments from Heisenberg. Now, I want to point out that in cases like this, when you hear it's $14,729, frankly, folks, you cannot get that case to the Supreme Court on your own. Virtually nobody has the kind of money it would take. A safe estimate is at least $500,000 in legal fees to get a case to the Supreme Court, in some cases far more. So what I'm assuming is unwritten in the reports I've seen is that there was some tax organization or anti-tax organization that took up the case on behalf of the Moore couple. So just to point that bit out. Although the Moores argued that the mandatory repatriation tax did not tax any income they'd actually received, the MRT attributes the income of the corporation they invested into them as shareholders and imposes tax on their portion of that undistributed corporate income, according to the ruling of the court. Now, Justice Thomas, joined by Justice Neil Gorsuch, dissented from the ruling. Their argument was, if you never made any money, what do you have that is taxable? This is Dr. David D. Schein for Business Law 101. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform.